Well, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's truly the end of free speech everywhere, but just for us. Because I looked myself, somebody told me, and thank you for one of my subscribers who said, listen, I tried to get the documentary, and the documentary, I can't even rent it. Another person said they can rent it, but when I looked myself, it said it is not available. It is not available for sale. I looked on Amazon, multiple areas, multiple versions, not available for sale, right? I don't know what that means. Does that mean they've run out of stock? Does that mean it's not going to be put back up? But we probably know what it is. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you right now, even a channel like this, my channel, don't expect it to be up here for a long time. Because if people are identifying that black people cannot self-actualize, cannot tell our own story, if other communities don't like the story we're telling, according to them, we now are offensive to somebody else. It doesn't matter. Let's put it in the worst possible case scenario. I'm a revisionist historian. I make up facts all the time about who I am. And a million people believe my facts. And we start teaching those facts in our university. Who can tell us what to say and what to believe? Many of us, when we sit down, and I'm going to use this as an example, the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam has some very interesting ideas behind how certain people, I ain't going to say who, came around. They have some very interesting ideas. Nobody goes and tries to ban the Nation of Islam's ideas. Nobody does. Islam has some very interesting ideas, right? They have one prophet. They believe that this prophet has done this and said this. They have some very interesting ideas. Nobody tries to stop them from having ideas. What do we have to do? Do we have to turn black history into a religion in order for people to respect it? We shouldn't have to, because the First Amendment protects our free speech. It protects our capacity to tell our own story. It protects us from individuals who would infringe on us being able to give away our tradition to each other. Listen, Hebrews to Negroes, who are we selling that book to? Are we walking up and knocking on the doors of Jewish people and saying, hey, you got to read this? Are we going to schools and saying, this must be part of the curriculum? No. Hebrews to Negroes was simply a book that an individual wrote for those who want to read about that. Are you telling me now? Are you telling me now that because Kyrie Irving posted it, it's now become offensive? It's been there for years. So if Amazon is in the business of falling to the peer pressure of the world, and it's not the world, it's a Zionist agenda. I gotta double back down on this now. It's a Zionist agenda, so black people can't tell their story. Ladies and gentlemen, it must be a scenario where we say, even if our story isn't true, we still have the right to say it. And the story's true. This is the hard part for them. The story is blasted true. But even if the story's not true, we still have the right to say it. Nobody jumps on the Kabbalist Jewish person and says, well, Kabbalah is mysticism, it doesn't make sense. You shouldn't write any books about that. It shouldn't be on Instagram. It shouldn't be on... Nobody tells the witch, the Wiccan, the Satanist to stop writing books, stop making movies. How many shows do we see on Instagram, on all these Netflix and Prime Video, of all these shows regarding vampire life and werewolf life? And yeah, it's fictional. It's supposed to be fictional. But how much individuals really believe this kind of thing? They don't. We don't stop them. So what I'm trying to let you guys know right now is that if we don't start speaking up for our own free speech, if we don't start making institutions that are impeachable, and this is where we need to go now. No time in history has the black colleges become so important. No time in history. Those curriculums must include the things that we wish to transfer over to our children, no matter what. I've been having a conversation with a young lady named Christian King. Christian King, this is your big up. And I want to go and I want to be part of teaching curriculum, teaching Hebrew curriculum, Hebrew Shemitic, Afro-Shemitic, Afro-Hamitic, cultural lessons and studies in university. Because if these people are so threatened by it, boy, we must have hit something. If you're so threatened by a man's book, by a basketball player's post, well, we must have hit gold. We must have hit something. All right? So I don't know where to go with this right now. I just got this information. I'm kind of upset about it. But our free speech is really being infringed upon right now. And it is a time that we have to buckle down on our institutions. Literally, this is what we literally have to stop doing now. We have to be very careful where we send our kids to school. Because it's clear that the information that's disseminating from the others is saying that our history is invalid. That's not going to wash. It's not going to wash with me. This is the real spiel, Del K. Brereton. Listen, tell a friend that the Hebrew presence in the Bible was the presence of black people. Tell a friend. Tell a friend that, you know what, it doesn't matter what you do in your life, whether you play basketball, whether you are a president, whether you are an owner of a corporation, you have to know your story. You have to know who you are. And it's very important that, and it's very sad that our story is the one story being invalidated. That's very, very sad. It's very, very sad. And it's not even that. I'll go one step further. Even if the story is wrong, it's our right to tell our story. Tell someone that. Like, share, and subscribe. It's a doggone shame. That's the real spiel. I don't know.